This is VOA News. I'm David Byrd. Australia, Japan, and Singapore announced strict travel controls Saturday on foreigners who have been in China recently because of fears of the coronavirus. But as Lisa Schlein reports, the World Health Organization is advising against closing borders.
WHO spokesman Christian Lindmeier says closing borders will not keep out the virus.
But the only way to control, to check fever, for example, to identify travel history, to try to monitor who's coming across your border and to see whether they have any signs of infection is through official border crossing points.
China is taking draconian measures to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Wuhan City, the epicenter of the disease, and 15 other cities have been quarantined, placing an estimated 50 million people under lockdown. Despite these efforts, the virus continues to spread at a rapid pace. Lisa Schlein for VOA News, Geneva.
Former Communications Minister Mohammed Alawi was named Prime Minister-designate by rival Iraqi factions Saturday after weeks of political deadlock. The selection of the 66-year-old Alawi to replace outgoing Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi was the product of many backroom talks over months between rival parties. The choice comes as the country weathers troubled times, including ongoing anti-government protests and the constant threat of being ensnared by festering U.S.-Iran tensions. In Baghdad's Tahrir Square, the epicenter of Iraq's 4-month anti-government protest movement, demonstrators rejected Alawi's candidacy. Demonstrators have long said they would not accept a candidate chosen by the establishment. For more, log on to our website, voanews.com. You can also follow us on the VOA mobile app. This is VOA News. The Palestinian Authority has threatened to cut all ties with the United States and Israel, including security relations, after rejecting a Middle East peace plan presented this week by President Donald Trump. Reuters' Emer McCarthy has more.
The plan, which is endorsed by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, calls for the creation of a demilitarized Palestinian state that excludes Israeli settlements built in occupied territory and is under near-total Israeli security control. Addressing the Arab League in Cairo, Abbas said security relations will also be severed.
We, the Palestinian Authority, inform you, Israeli government, that there will be no ties either with you or the U.S., as we have said the same to the U.S., including security ties.
Foreign ministers from Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Iraq and Lebanon, among others, said there could be no peace without recognizing Palestinian rights and a comprehensive solution.
That's Emer McCarthy of Reuters. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was in Belarus Saturday seeking to normalize ties at a time when relations between Minsk and its traditional ally Russia are under strain. Reuters' Lucy Fielder has more.
Pompeo, the most senior U.S. official to visit in more than 2 decades, said the U.S. supported the country's independence but was aware of its ties to Moscow.
We want to be here. You'll see we've built our team diplomatically here by almost double. We'll do that again. We'll have an ambassador here before too long.
Washington and the European Union frequently criticize authoritarian rule in Belarus, but they've lifted most sanctions since President Alexander Lukashenko freed political prisoners and showed more tolerance for opposition.
That's Lucy Fielder reporting. While Britain has formally left the EU, the hard work of building a new economic relationship continues. AP's Sarah Bassett reports.
Britain has officially left the European Union after 47 years as a member and 3 long years of negotiations. There were mixed feelings around Britain as the country awoke to its first day outside of the EU bloc. Speaking outside the UK Parliament in London, Toby Brennan was optimistic.
It may take a year, may take a couple of years, but you know what? It smells like freedom.
While British resident James Parks says he was depressed and downtrodden by the outcome.
My grandfather fought in wars in Europe. We thought that was all over. We thought we would be one continent.
There are difficult negotiations ahead as the UK goes its own way, while trying to preserve links with its biggest trading partner.
That's Sarah Bassett. And I'm David Byrd, VOA News.